Bradford City continue their 2024-25 EFL Trophy campaign with a quarter-final clash against Steve Evans Rotherham United, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have gotten so far this season, what my starting line would be for this match if I was Graham Alexander. Now, it's been a very busy day on a personal note. There was 4 pieces of transfer business that Bradford City have done on deadline day, so I'm recording this video at 11:30 at night. I wanted to make sure that my starting 11 was as accurate as possible, so if I'd done it literally 12 hours ago, then we'd be talking a completely different side to the one that I've selected here. With the amount of injuries and players who are cup-tied for this though, I think we're actually going to struggle to field a full proper bench, which is crazy to say, but that is the reality at this moment in time. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. 60 likes will be massively appreciated, and let's get into it. So my team, Bradford City, we currently sit 7th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 28 matches, we've got 13 wins, 8 draws and 7 defeats, scoring 38 goals and also conceding at 28, which leaves us on a positive 10 goal difference and 47 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a loss, a win, a win, a win and a win. So 12 points picked up out of our last possible 15. That's not bad going whatsoever. In terms of our last couple of matches then, we had a frustrating 1-0 defeat away to AFC Wimbledon on Saturday. Statistically, they did certainly have a lot of shots, but a lot of them were from distance, and I do think it was quite an even game. On another day, if we're a bit more clinical, we could have got something out of that, but we definitely didn't disgrace ourselves, and the goal we conceded was really poor and cheap. So to go away to one of the best home teams in the division, only lose 1-0, I don't think it is the end of the world. We also had a 1-0 win at home to Morecambe. Great to get past Derek Adams' side, who, according to him, were well in the game and deserved something out of it. We had 16 shots to their 4, we had 6 on target to their 1, we had more possession, more better pass accuracy, more corners. I don't know what deluded Derek was on about, but we got the job done. That's all that matters. In years gone by, this is the type of game that we definitely would have lost, so nice to pick up the 3 points there. We also had a brilliant 3-0 win at home to Walsall FC. They were obviously top of the table, 9 wins in a row, 16 unbeaten, and they come to Bradford City and we absolutely destroyed them. Alex Patterson was incredible in that game. Anthony Sarsfield with 3 goal contributions as well. And obviously since then, they actually haven't won a football match. So brilliant 3 points for us in that one. And it goes to show how good our home form has been so far this season. We also had a 1-0 win away at Carlisle. Our first victory at Brunton Park in over 40 years. Callum Kavanagh scoring the only goal of the game in that one. It was a pretty even game. Both sides had the odd chance. Alex Patterson should have scored in the first half, and I think if either side did deserve to win, it would have been us. And obviously Carlisle confirmed today, or probably by the time this video comes out yesterday, they've sacked Mike Williamson on deadline day. I don't think the people who are running that club have any idea what they're doing. The right decision, absolutely, but should have been done months ago. Should have never been appointed, should it? We also had a 3-1 win away at Aston Villa's under-21s in the previous round. Men against boys, you won't see a much more convincing win than that at Villa Park. We absolutely dominated them. The game was wrapped up after 26 minutes. In the second half, we kind of just cruised through things, basically used it as a training exercise to get a load of players some minutes in there, but obviously no Kelly, no Richards, they're both missing for this one. Will we make some changes and rotation as well? You look at the likes of Bobby Poynton, not included in the matchday squad on Saturday with an eye on this game, which interesting decision from Alexander. But if we compare it then to Rotherham United, they currently sit 15th in the Sky Bet League 1 table. After 28 matches, they've got 10 wins, 7 draws and 11 defeats, scoring 33 goals and also conceding at 33. It leaves them on a 0 goal difference and 37 points. Their last couple of matches have been a loss, a win, a loss, a win and a win, so very inconsistent. You maybe say that form's around 10th to 12th rather than 15th, but they had a horrible start to the season. Some people maybe even calling it for Steve Evans' head, but they are now 12 points above the drop zone with a game in hand and are currently, let me just do some quick maths here, is that 7 points off of the playoffs at this moment in time. You've certainly seen stranger things happen in football, but their last couple of matches then have been a 2-1 defeat away at Birmingham. As you can see by the stats, Birmingham probably did deserve to win. Despite Rotherham going in at the break ahead, they just didn't really. I mean, they've gone away to Birmingham. Not many teams are going to go there and get anything out of it. So I think it's kind of just a free hit for a lot of teams, in all honesty. Although I'm sure Steve Evans will be disappointed to go 1-0 up and then go on to lose the match. They also had a 2-1 win at home to Cambridge. You look at the stats, they definitely deserved all 3 points in this game. Despite actually going behind in it, Rotherham equalised just 4 minutes later, and then it was Hakeem Odoffin on the 69th minute to grab the winner in that one. They also had a very strange 4-2 defeat away at Burton. Burton have been very good since former Bradford City manager Gary Bowyer has taken over there. Rotherham actually took the lead after 2 minutes, but yeah, loads of goals around the first half or really early into the second half was enough to secure all 3 points in the end for Burton, despite Andre Green pulling a goal back in the second half. Statistically, it did look like a pretty even game. Rotherham scoring with their only shots on target as well, so yeah, they definitely need to convert some of these more shots into shots on target, and they'll start scoring a lot more goals. They also had a 4-2 win at home to Charlton Athletic. Again, looking at the stats, Rotherham seems to be a very good team at home. They have lots of chances, and I do think it will be a pretty tough game. Obviously, we played them in the group stage. They beat us 1-0 at our place, but I don't think they really deserved it, in all honesty, despite scoring a very good early goal. And in the previous round, they had a 0-0 draw with Chesterfield. They won 4-3 on penalties. I'm not going to talk about a 0-0 for too long. Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 60 likes on today's video? That'd be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for this match? What would your starting 11 be as well? Factoring in all the players who are unavailable, I think the team almost picks itself, to be honest. Now, as I'm not going completely unchanged, we're going to build this position by position, like what we've done before. Let me know down below, do you prefer it when I build it position by position, or just show you the full starting 11 on screen? Now, I've actually just realised some players might be a bit harder to find pictures of than others, so bear with me if the on-screen graphic does look a little bit different, but I would stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation. We have enough players who are available to play this system, so I would definitely stick with it. In goal, I'd go with Joe Hilton, obviously signed on deadline day, and I feel like this is going to be the best opportunity to see him play in a Bradford City shirt. We know Colin Doyle's had quite a lot of minutes in the EFL Trophy. Sam Walker played in the last match, but Joe Hilton's obviously come in to be Bradford City's #1, so why not give him a game in this one? He's not cup tied, obviously, being at Blackburn Rovers, they're not in the EFL Trophy, so I'd definitely give him the nod in this one. In terms of my back three then, at right centre back, I would go with Neil Byrne. Where possible, I will be making as many changes for this game, just because I think the league is much more important. We go away to Rotherham and lose, I don't think anyone's really going to lose much sleep over it. We got to the quarter final, but now it's just a stage where we've got so many league games coming up, we absolutely have to focus on that. Let's just make as many changes as possible. So I would give Neil Byrne another opportunity. I know that he plays much better in the middle rather than on the right side, but with the other two centre-halves that I've gone with, it does make sense to have Byrne on that right-hand side. And we've seen him play there a few times, but with the amount of football that Johnson, Baldwin and Halliday have played recently, why not give Neil Byrne an opportunity? In the middle, I would go with Paul Huntington. Nice to see him back in action at the weekend. Obviously came on after around an hour when Kieran Kelly did go off with that injury, and it meant we had to kind of tweak it around a little bit. But Paul Huntington, for me, I think will slowly, potentially work his way back into the side, but I think his experience will be very important in a game like this. Communication as well, and I think the last time we played Rotherham was his first start for Bradford City, so he's obviously come on a long way since then, signed on a deal until the end of the season, still has a lot to offer, so I would definitely give him the nod in this one. And at left centre back, I would go with Romney Critchlow. He's our only other winter recruit who isn't cup tied in this competition, so Romney Critchlow for me would start. Obviously no Kieran Kelly, he's going to be missing for a while with that hamstring injury. Jack Shepherd has also played a lot of football recently, so I'd certainly give him a rest in this game. And again, if Critchlow's not cup tied, what other opportunities are going to get apart from this one? This is his best opportunity to play a full 90 minutes, and we'll see the real quality of Romney Critchlow. Can he force his way into the side? Obviously Harrogate at home on Saturday, so I'd definitely give him the nod. Obviously natural left footer as well. In terms of my midfield four, at right wing back, I would go with Jay Ben. That might be a name that you've completely forgotten about, but he did make it through the full winter window, remaining at Bradford City, and obviously Brad Halliday's got back to very good form over the last couple of weeks. Callum Johnson's recently returned as well and has played a decent amount of football, so it's meant Jay Ben's found himself as third choice right wing back, so I'd definitely stick with him, or I'll bring him in at right wing back to give him another opportunity, because we have seen certainly the start of his loan spell that he looks like a decent player. As my two holding midfielders then, at first I would go with the captain, Richie Smallwood. With a lack of options in there, obviously Corey Evans moving on to Oldham in the transfer window, we didn't decide to replace Smallwood. He's going to have to play probably the full 90 in this game, game, which I don't mind. His game isn't largely built on pace or energy, so I don't think it'll matter too much if he's to play the full 90 in this game. So I definitely would give him the start once more, and I think his experience will be important in a game away to Rotherham. Partnering him, I would go alongside Clark Adore. Now, whether you go Adore here or the right attacking midfielder, you could probably swap between the two of them, but I see Adore being a little bit more effective, a bit deeper, and the other player being a little bit more effective going forward. So that's the reason why I've gone with that. Again, hasn't been included, I don't think, in a matchday squad since that Aston Villa game where he did really flatter to deceive. So if he wants a better opportunity in a Bradford City shirt, he's not really going to get that apart from this game unless we do get a load of injuries. So Clark Adore for me would start alongside Richie Smallwood as the two holding midfielders. And as my left wing back, I would go with Tariq Wright. Again, I think this is a pretty decent opportunity for him with Lewis Richards missing for what will probably be at least a couple of weeks at the absolute minimum with that shoulder injury. Teo Adaramola just signing but is also cup tied for this game. It's another opportunity for Tariq Wright, and I think he could certainly do a job there. I thought he did actually alright on Saturday, and whilst for the large part I haven't been impressed with him so far this season, especially defensively, I do think this could be a good game to get 75-80 minutes into him and see what he can produce in it. As my two number 10s then, first I would go with Jamie Walker. He was one of the two players that I was debating between with Clark Adore, whichever one you play a bit deeper. I don't think it really matters all too much, but I see Walker being a bit more effective going forward rather than Clark Adore. But for this game, I'd certainly give players like Alex Patterson, Anthony Sarcevic a rest, as they're going to be very important for us in the league. And obviously Jamie Walker not being included in a matchday squad since that Aston Villa game. The EFL Trophy is his best chance for minutes, so players who are not really playing in the league, they need to do well in the EFL Trophy if they still want to be playing competitive first team football for Bradford City, because it's all well and good playing in the bounce games and building your fitness up, but there's nothing like battling out to potentially be in a semi-final, and that's what they're certainly looking for in this one. Walker obviously decided to stay with Bradford City, is out of contract with the club in the summer, and this is a real big opportunity for him. And as my other number 10, I would go with Bobby Poynton. The fact that he wasn't even on the bench on Saturday was a little bit understandable, when Alexander's got one eye on this game, which I'm not sure if I like that. In all honesty, I understand the proactive thinking, but we really missed Poynton's creativity on Saturday. Do I think that maybe if Poynton would have played, we'd have won the game? Probably not, but I still think you don't want to give the fans that notion to potentially have in their head. So Poynton's going to have to start, play at least 75 minutes in this game, or resting him on Saturday would then look a little bit silly. And as my striker, it's going to have to be Callum Kavanagh. With Michael Mellon and Tommy Lee both cup tied, Callum Kavanagh is the only recognised striker at the football club. We've sent out Smith, Oliver and Ibbotson on loan, so it's going to have to be Callum Kavanagh. He's going to have to play the entire football match, which then when we're managing his workload, I'm not too sure how that's going to go. Maybe we start Michael Mellon at the weekend against Harrogate, but he's played a lot of football recently, has Callum Kavanagh. Scored a lot of goals as well in the last 6 weeks or so, which is obviously very nice to see in different competitions. Scored a brace against Stockport in the round of 32, scored in the last round against Aston Villa, so fingers crossed he can come up with another goal in this game. On the bench then for me, it's quite a defensive bench because a lot of our unavailability is in them attacking areas. I would have Sam Walker, Brad Halliday, Aidan Baldwin, Jack Shepherd, Gabriel Wadsworth, Alex Patterson and Anthony Sarcevic. The players currently unavailable are Kieran Kelly with that hamstring injury, Lewis Richards with the shoulder injury, Teo Adaramola, George Lapsley, Brandon Kayler, Tommy Lee and Michael Mellon are all cup tied. Obviously Andy Cook is currently out with that ACL injury. So the only players who miss out then through selection will be Zach Cady, a goalkeeper, Colin Doyle, a goalkeeper, and Callum Johnson. I'd just rest him entirely with his history of injuries. He's played a decent amount of football recently, played I think full 90 at the weekend and played around half an hour or so on Tuesday against Morecambe. I'd give him a full rest for this game and have him fit and fresh for Saturday. Let me know down below, do you agree or disagree with my team? In terms of a score prediction, I'm going to go 2-0 Rotherham. I think they'll have a bit too much for us in this one, like what they had in the first time we played them this season. I'm actually going to this game, so there will be a vlog out on the main channel. Obviously, there is already my reaction to all of our new signings out there, so make sure to go check them out if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another one.